Probando. Probando. Yeah, so I don't know if you've heard about this new movie that just came out, One Battle After Another. I saw the trailer.
I
Uh
have heard of it, yes.
right. So I just discovered I I don't know how I don't think I am revealing a spoiler here to say that among the many people who are in it that I had never heard of, it includes the guy who played the Bud Light King in the Dilly Dilly commercials.
Now you've lost me.
You did not experience Dilly Dilly, is what you're telling me.
I guess not.
God, count your blessings. One of
Well,
the.
I did have to get through the Budweiser frogs in my youth, so
This is
there's that.
true. You had to survive that. You had to survive What's up?
Yes.
Uh huh. Great. Clydesdales, obviously. Is Budweiser just out here doing the 10 plagues of beer? Frogs, horses, annoying guys,
Yeah, I can see it. Are
absolute
they cursed?
monarchy.
Are they cursed to be doing this? Is that the question? Because that's what I'm imagining.
Anheuser-Busch does deserve to be cursed.
Mhm.
I think I'm willing to say that on air.
All right. In the first minute of broadcast at one of the major beer companies of the United States deserves to be cursed.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they were going to sponsor us because, obviously this is a rum-friendly league here.
Rumspringa. There's a way to work that in there, isn't there?
Yes,
Maybe.
yes, I am.
Possibly.
Well, I mean, one of the Navegadores we know ran away from being a printer's devil, which, as I have since discovered, is not actually intended to be a reference to a very specific Lloyd Alexander novel that I have not read. But we talked about him on a previous broadcast, and I was looking up his books. So there's no reason why one of these players can't be Amish, is what I'm saying.
Here's a good point.
Yeah, imagine that as your Rumspringa activity. You have to find your way to a baseball team in Puerto Rico, be good enough to catch on, and then what?
Yeah, stay there forever, I guess.
I
That's the
guess
plan.
so. The Rumspringa Diaries by Hunter S. Thompson. There's a joke.
If you shave off that beard, no one would ever know.
That's the thing. Americans have beer leagues. Puerto Ricans have rum leagues. At least in this universe. I don't know if that's true in for the AA or any of those other federations. I kind of hope not. A bunch of those dudes have jobs to do during the rest of the week.
Jobs, cutting sugar cane, perhaps.
Uh, I was talking about the current league, so actually they're mostly like
Oh, okay.
chiropractors and dentists and stuff like
That
that.
makes sense. I thought we were still in the world of the LNP.
Fair. At this time, huh? I think we are in the first generation of ball players that most of them are probably making their living as ball players.
Mhm.
There is a slight possibility that some of
So
these
they're
guys are, I don't know.
they're getting entertainer money because they're actually drawing crowds to
Yes.
pay for them. Gotcha.
Except for the Navegadores, who for some reason decided to hold their ticket prices steady when everyone else just kind of, cratered their prices. I guess there was a depression around this time, but the Naves held strong, so their attendance has gone down the pike.
They gotta pay for that beautiful wooden park.
Yep.
All their stands are built like ships. It's like a
Listen,
staved
grotto
church in
water
there.
is not cheap.
Exactly.
Okay, bueno, gente, buenas noches. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en vivo. With me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing great. Glad to be back at the game, back at the old ballpark.
Yeah, we have been on a big time hiatus, uh, which is the opposite of a big time rush.
Is this a band? I'm thinking of Real Big Fish.
I'm fairly certain it's as far as I know,
Mhm.
I believe it is a Nickelodeon show of some kind, but I believe it
Okay.
involves a band.
Interesting. All right.
At any rate, the Navegadores de Naguabo today host the reigning champion, Cotorras de Río Grande, who have followed up their, frankly, the best season in their history with a rather disappointing 51-39 record. Still in first place, still looking likely to make the playoffs, but their edge a bit blunted by presumably whatever also caused ticket prices across the league to crash. Meanwhile, the Navegadores are riding high. They come into this game with an incredible record, a staggering 72 wins to just 13 losses.
How's that possible? How do they do
Same
that?
question. Because the thing is, you would think this is due to the unbelievable pitching that they have, and that is most of the credit. But they also happen to have the league's top offense, so they are just running away with it this year. The addition of Jake Getman, former Ilustrísimo over there in left field, provided a huge punch in the arm to an offense that last year, at the key moment in the playoffs, just could not put together any kinds of runs in clutch situations. You know, Pablo Salmeron, God bless him, routinely grounding into double plays. You had a lot of players that were unable to string those hits together. But this year, these Navegadores are literally never lost at sea. It doesn't matter if they're down 1 or down 7. More often than not, they find a way to come back from that.
Nice. That's what we want.
So today we're looking at a cloudy day, 29 degrees, wind blowing in from left as a typically sparse 1907 Timonera crowd shuffles in. You know how it is. It's 2 o'clock on whatever day of the week it is. I'm trying a Piano Man reference in case that's not clear.
Yes, I got that. No, 9 o'clock on a Saturday. I was almost going to sing. You did it.
And we're going to go see whether Sapphire beats Green today or vice versa. If you're a betting man, and you shouldn't be, God hates gamblers. Well, no, God loves gamblers, but hates gambling. But if you're a betting man, the odds are...
God loves the player and hates the game. I think that's in the Bible.
That's right, yes. It's famously in Paul's letter to the slot machinians. At any rate, the odds are definitely with the Sapphire, especially because the Greens are pitching Cordero el Majadero, also known as that, which roughly translates to bothersome Cordero, their number 3 pitcher, who was once upon a time a top pitching prospect, but for whatever reason does not seem to have hit his top potential. As we go through this game, we're going to have commercials as we usually do after the 3rd and 6th innings. We're going to have tidbits from Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña history, and as usual, a poetry reading during the 7th inning stretch, a repeat in this case, because frankly, it would be a disservice not to read this one in La Timonera. But
definitely,
it is now time for our first pitch, or rather, it will be in a second. Before that, we have to read the starting lineups, and before that, we need a word from the most wonderful of our wonderful sponsors. Louisa, who are we talking about?
We are talking, as we always do at the beginning of a game, about Dr. Gonzalez and his wood tar liquor. Folks, 70,000 patients have been cured over 15 years with it. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments. It helps with both consumption and bladder catarrh, which is inflammation. It also purifies overhumored blood. And it whets the appetite for fattening, important as the weather gets cold. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, except no substitutes. And of course, it's sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillermetti, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Thank you very, very much, Luisa. Here we go, the starting lineup. First for the visiting Cotorras de Río Grande. Leading off and playing left field, number 35, Jorge Estrada. Batting second and playing second base, number 31, Tito Alvarado. Batting third and playing first base, number 8, Jesus Torres. Batting fourth and playing center field, number 18, Cosme Tejeda. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 7, Gideon Morris. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 32, Luis de la Cruz. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 6, an old friend, Sam Rigby.
Samuel Rigby.
That's right. Batting eighth and catching, number 16, Jorge Apodaca. And batting ninth and playing third base, number 2, Riley O'Sullivan.
Fake name. It's a fake name if I've ever heard one.
That's right. That's a B-movie Irish gangster name right there is what that is.
Yes, exactly.
That's third-rate James Cagney character name right there.
He's always eating a potato.
Exactly, yes. And he's got a pig under his arm.
Yep.
And now, the starting lineup for your Navegadores de Naguabo. Batting leadoff and playing center field, number 27 from Newcastle upon Tyne, Graham Underwood. Batting second and playing first base, from Louisville, Kentucky, number 16, Rob Feaster.
The Grackle.
Batting third and playing left field, from Media in Russia, number 55, Jake Getman.
The Tank from Frank.
Batting fourth and catching, number 17, Pablo from Manzanillo, Pablo Salmeron.
Now, I know his nickname is Rodijon, but I see that it's not in our list of nicknames. Is he getting a new one?
I think these days he just likes to go by Pablito. He's self-conscious about the knees.
Fair enough.
Batting fifth and playing second base, from Hampton, New Hampshire, number 4, Eto'o Shirtlew.
The Font of Wisdom.
Batting sixth and playing right field, from Veracruz, number 56, Frank del Castillo.
Diablo Rojo.
Batting seventh, the designated hitter from Pyongyang, number 23, Min Kim Min Soo.
No nickname for this man.
Yeah, we're trying to find him a good one. Tronchavates just doesn't sound right anymore.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, currently leading the team in home runs with 16. And also,
Wow.
I think, Liga Betances.
I should hope so. Jeez.
I don't think he's leading the entire league. I think Tom Squires has hit 17 over in the other league.
Ugh, that villain.
Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 6 from Calle, Puerto Rico, Benigno Valdez.
Benji.
And batting ninth and playing third base, from Hay in New South Wales, number 11, Wally Bach.
The Human Ripcord.
Pitching tonight for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 3 from, I believe, Montego Bay, Everton Stack.
The Stack Man.
Skip it a bop bop.
I see he's got that nickname now, although I will always use the little stack of pancakes emoji when talking about him.
Fair enough. He is currently 14-1 over 183 and 2/3 of an inning, an ERA of, can't believe I get to say this on air, 0.69.
Nice.
231 strikeouts to just 26 walks. This man has allowed 14 earned runs over his first 183 innings here. This is incredible. He is the presumptive, excelentissimo, pardon me, the presumptive best pitcher of the year right now.
Nice.
So here we go. Jorge Estrada currently hitting OPS of 540, no home runs, 21 runs batted in. Let's see how they match up. Here we go. As we pan around La Timonera. Rather a slow pan here. A very slow pan.
Seems like it's autumn out there.
Indeed.
Out there in the city.
Famously, a place where there is a lot of autumn, Puerto Rico.
Everyone gets in their cars and they drive to Naguabo
to see the
colors.
foliage. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As Shirley makes a great play, and we are underway. 5-star catch there. I didn't realize we would have to watch the pan again.
Oh, the drones are really going crazy today.
That's right, yes. The ancient wooden quadcopters that the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña operated then.
It's strong enough to hold one
Stack
man
hits.
who's fast cranking a little old-fashioned movie
Exactly.
camera.
How any of this is not just blurred to all hell, we have no idea. Shirley there moves back from his usual pocket and makes a great catch to throw over to first. Gotta say, that is not the kind of defensive play we've seen from him this year. He's actually, I believe, technically still not worth a win to the team just because his defense has been terrible.
Oh man, poor guy.
Yeah, big surprise, really, from a guy who really never been like this before.
Yeah.
Here comes Tito Alvarado, OPS of 556, 1 home run, 19 runs batted in, comes over the bases empty, and 1 out. On an 0-2 count, Tito Alvarado strikes out on a curveball. 3 pitches to dismiss him, sinker, fastball, and curveball, and Stack gets to face Jesus Torres. Torres, maybe a slight step up, OPS of 604, no home runs, 33 runs batted in. This is not an offensively powerful ball club. When the guy leading the team has a 267 batting average, oh boy, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
I say that, but looking across, the guy leading the Navegadores is currently sitting at 273. So,
Not much better.
nope. 1-2 count for Jesus Torres. He hits that one hard into center field. Ham Underwood looking for it. He's got it, puts the hand up. And that will end the top of the first. The Cotorras go down in order on a flyout, a groundout, and a strikeout. We head into the bottom of the first, and it'll be Mario Cordero taking his first throws here, warming up with Apodaca at catcher. Cordero, tough season for him so far. He's sitting on 187 in a third innings, 9 wins to 10 losses. His ERA is 2.45 in a normal year. That would be great, but boy, he has not had a good time of it today, or rather this year. Interestingly, 53 strikeouts to 44 walks. Not much of a 3 true outcomes pitcher. Doesn't tend to strike out a lot. Doesn't tend to walk a lot of guys. Does a little bit better on the road, we've noted, and had some big moments in the postseason for them last year.
That's always surprising to me when someone does better on the road. I guess maybe they're feeling the pressure and they're really locked in.
Yeah, or it is, of course, possible that their home park is just predictably bad for them. Something about their pitches just doesn't work there.
That's true.
So we've got fastball, curveball, and sinker. Oh boy, a 3-pitch lefty. They are going to slaughter him. Leading off against him, it's Graham Underwood. Currently, he's sitting on a 698 OPS, 1 home run, 25 runs batted in.
Come on, Ham.
1-0 count. Cordero, 18 quality starts and 22 starts overall, as Underwood lines that one into right field, and he is off like a shot. Morris can't get to that one in time. It's a base hit, and 2 pitches in, the Navegadores have a base runner. Underwood will try to face off against a very good holder in Cordero and a middling arm, let's say, in Apodaca. So this ought to be interesting. Rob Feaster comes up next with an identical 698 OPS, 2 home runs, 20 runs batted in. He currently leads the Liga Betances with 77 stolen bases on the year. On the full count, Rob Feaster strikes out on ball 4. Sinker outside, but Feaster can't resist pulling the trigger, and he is sent down unceremoniously. A 6-pitch at bat to leave a man on with 1 out for Jake Getman. Getman sitting on a 790 OPS, 11 home runs and 65 runs batted in, and just imagine what he could do if he didn't have to deal with that mustache.
That creates a lot of drag when he's trying to run the bases.
Exactly. The opposite of what you want. This isn't Mark Spitz, man. You can't make yourself more bullet-shaped than baseball.
Mm-hmm.
He's Looks like he goes after the first pitch. It's a pop-up in foul territory, and they've got it. Easy peasy for Torres, who gloves it there, and it's out number 2. So this inning, which looked off to a promising start, starting to squib out. It's up to Pablito Salmeron to try and get it back under control. He's sitting on a 775 OPS, 9 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Cordero here on 9 pitches with 2 outs and a man on first. Let's see if they try to run Underwood, put some pressure on the pitcher here. 2-2 count. Salmeron grounds out, and Samuel Rigby has all the time in the world to throw him out at first. So in the end, it's only Ham Underwood's single in the top of the first. We are through 1 inning. Neither team has managed to score.
Well, before we move on, can I share with you a little bit of a little sneaky fact about the league on the state history?
Indeed.
So we're working with July 8th here, and in 1884, on July 8th, playing for Garabo, Manuel Esteban strikes out 16 Macabeos and walked 1, becoming the first pitcher to put up 15 Ks in 8 innings. Because Garabo lost the game 7-2, partly thanks to a 3-run homer he allowed. Oof. 12 days later, Esteban struck out 15 Escaletos, and despite giving up 2 more home runs, this time the Taínos managed to win the game 6-5. He's the only Garabo pitcher, as of 1907, to strike out 15 batters in a game. That's impressive.
Yeah, Manuel Esteban is one of those dudes that kind of flew under the radar in the 19th century because great pitchers were so common that it was tough. You had multiple incredibly dominant pitchers, many of whom were on the same rotations for a while. So the Ingenieros rotation, the Pescadores, the Reyes never had a particularly tough one. They had Fonseca and they had a couple other decent guys, but none of them lasted very long. They all had peak seasons and then would kind of retire into sort of consistent but workmanlike competence.
That makes sense. It's hard to distinguish yourself when there's a lot of good pitchers.
Exactly. And so every team had at least one guy, with maybe 4 or 5 exceptions across the league. Every team had at least one very dependable, very good pitcher, and Esteban was definitely that for the Taínos, who, frankly, in that era, did not have a whole lot to cheer about otherwise.
Shame.
Yep. Now, however, they're one of the best teams in the league, and frankly, they're doing incredibly well for how undermanned in a lot of ways they seem to be. They've had a lot of injuries pile up over the last couple seasons. It's a surprise they've been able to hang on, but there they are. They keep showing up.
And I know their farm team is of special interest to me. That's my special guys.
Gurabo, no, your special guys are... Oh, wait, sorry.
I thought we were talking about the Escaletos, are we not?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different bit of LMP history, I think.
Oh, okay.
Wait, seriously? What is Esteban? Yeah, it's got to be, right?
He struck out 15 Escaletos, but he wasn't on the Escaletos. Is that what we're getting caught up on?
Oh, yeah, no. He was a Taíno, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, but you said Curabo's developmental team, but it would be Vieques.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. You mentioned the Escaletos, so then at the end of your sentence there, I tacked on, I'm interested in their farm team, but I didn't realize you'd change the subject.
Got it. All right, we head on to the second inning. Everton Stack, 11 pitches over that first one with a strikeout. Lowered his ERA 1 tick. It's now 0.68. He will face Tejeda, Morris, and De La Cruz. Tejeda sitting on a 671 OPS. No home runs, 19 runs batted in. 0-1 count, and Tejeda launches that one into center field. But Ham Underwood walks over, and he's got it in plenty of time for out number 1. A splitter that he got under there sent it way, way into the air. And unfortunately for him, Ham Underwood knew exactly where. Here comes Gideon Morris, who is sitting on a 482 OPS, 3 runs batted in. 1 out, bases empty. But Morris on a full count strikes out on the fastball. 6-pitch at bat, ending in a punch out. The second of the night for Stack, as he will now face Luis de la Cruz, who is on a 6.55 OPS, 5 runs batted in. 2 outs and the base is empty, and Luis de la Cruz looking like an obvious strikeout victim, but he doesn't do that. He sends it over to Feaster, who will pass it over, lob it to Everton Stack covering, and the Cotorras once again go down in order. 3 up and 3 down as we head into the bottom of the second, and the Heartsmen of the Nahuatl lineup get a crack at Cordero el Majadero. Cordero sitting on 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, over 14 pitches. He will face here Eto Enshurlu, who is sitting at a 648 OPS with 1 home run and 31 runs batted in. He was actually one of the hottest hitters on the team through the first half of the first couple months, I guess, of the season. But as of late, he's been held to a pretty bad 111 average in July.
Pretty bad.
Indeed. Just 2 hits in 18 at-bats. Let's see. He has liked his home cooking in this season. He's done way better at home. So let's see if that's what's in the offing here. Notably, he has more walks than strikeouts over the course of his career. Did not realize that.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And on a full count here, he draws another one.
Boy, that park sure is empty, huh? I'm really looking at the crowd for the first time.
You said it. They were protesting. I wasn't kidding about the ticket prices. They're more than twice what any of the teams nearby would be charging.
That is so wild. Do you think they're cheaper in those outfield bleachers? Because it looks like there's more people out there, even.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So, fastball down and away. Although they could have called that a strike, and I don't think anybody would have protested. But he draws the walk.
Yeah.
So here comes Frank de Castillo, who has been struggling quite a bit, especially, I think, with... well, weirdly, he's supposed to be worse against lefties, but he's actually doing quite well against them here. On-base percentage of .362, walking more often than he's striking out. Overall, though, he's sitting on a 6.11, no home runs, 25 runs batted in. Let's see what happens here. 1-2 count. De Castillo, bouncer to the pitcher. Do they get him in time? They do not. It's a single for Diablo Rojo as he uses that speed to get on board, and they've got 2 guys on base for Kim Min-soo. 2 on and no outs. And Tronchavates, I guess we're calling him, comes up with an OPS of 754, 16 home runs, 61 runs batted in. Second on the club to Getman. And it's time to see if he... Well, you may remember the last time we saw Kim Min-soo live, he, of course, became the first Asian player to hit 3 home runs in a single game.
Oh, that was so exciting. I love seeing a bunch of home runs.
Let's see if he'll favor us with some of that again. 2-1 count. Not quite, as that instead gets hit to first base, and he drops it. Torres, his 5th error of the year at first base. I guess he must have hit it really hard right into his hands.
Yeah. And
Kim is able to make it on base. So the bases will be loaded with no outs for team captain Benigno Valdez. He's sitting
now,
on
green shoes with the Cotorras uniform. Don't care for that. Looks too motley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit too clownish, you might say.
Yeah, and they can't lean into that because already they're part of the way there, just by the nature of their uniforms already.
That's right. Please continue to call one of the Navegadores' biggest rival teams clowns. This is what they deserve.
Now, I know you love a font, and I'm looking at the catcher's the back of his uniform. This is, you have to admit, this is a very circus-like font that they have going on.
It is, incredibly. I believe this font is called Arenosa, which is Spanish for sandy. Anakin Skywalker hates this font.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually how they advertise it when you try to download it.
The 12 fonts Anakin Skywalker hates for you to download. Number 7 will surprise you.
People don't know this, but the guy that he chokes out in A New Hope, I find your lack of faith disturbing, that guy was proposing that all the signage be done in that font.
And he had to die for it.
Exactly. Benigno
Yes, they
Valdez.
deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. Thank you.
There we go. 685. No home runs, 29 runs batted in. 1-0 count. Valdez launches that one into center field, and it lands. The Navegadores sending
now.
2 runners to the plate. Will De Castillo make it there in time? He does as the throw sails offline. Benio Valdez with a 2-run single puts the Navegadores in front 2-0.
Woo!
Here in the bottom of the second, let's watch that again. As he just launches that one into center field. Cosme Tejeda getting rid of that ball as quickly as he can, but rushes the throw and sends it wide left. So it'll be Sherlew and Del Castillo scoring on that one. Kim and Valdez remain on base with no outs as the lineup comes near to turning over. Cordero there picks up a couple earned runs and now has to face Wally Balk, who's got a high-flying OPS of 747.
Nice.
8 home runs, 39 runs batted in. 2 men still on, still no outs. Let's see what he does here. 0-1 count. Balk hits that one to Sam Rigby, who drops it.
Man.
Second error of the inning for Rio Grande, just coming apart on that one. As the lineup turns...
Demoralized.
Exactly. As the lineup turns over, and here comes Graham Underwood, who's 1 for 1 on the day. Bases newly loaded with still no outs. They could put the game out of doubt here if they felt like it. Underwood on a full count does them a favor by launching that one over Samuel Rigby. He's got the can of corn, and it's out number 1. Puts them within double play range, and they might only allow the 2 runs. Still, a good at-bat, 6 pitches in. Maybe not the best pitch to swing at, given that it was roughly at his shins.
Yeah, he got desperate.
And it was a fastball, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Rob Feaster to see if he can do any better. Last time he struck out on a pitch away, that would have been ball 4. Let's see how he improves this time. He's 0 for 1. 1-1 count. Feaster launches that one directly at Alvarado, and he's got it for out number 2. So, how about we don't go?
Yeah, that music really seems sarcastic after that.
Mm-hmm. That maybe the Cotorras' audio team got into the room for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they staged the coup of the broadcasting booth.
Exactly. Here comes Jake Getman, who's 0 for 1.
Like Switzerland.
Personally, I do think that audio teams should not be employed by the teams. They should be neutral and employed by the league so that they can make fun of everybody equally.
Yes, that would be ideal.
Here comes Getman, 0 for 1. 2-2 count. Getman lies out over first base. Torres had it.
Oof.
And, well, it's 2 runs, 2 errors, 2 hits, and the bases remain loaded. The Navegadores, on the one hand, are in the lead here at the bottom of the second, but you really wish they had gotten more runs out of that one.
That would have been nice if they just kept racking them up.
Exactly. So they've got a 2-run lead to hand over to Everton Stack, and we'll see what he does in the top of the third. But first...
Mm-hmm. I have another little piece of history for you. I have another hero of July 8th for you. And this time we're going to 1892 to find out about Juan Rodriguez, who pitched the first perfect game in Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña history. On this date, he throws his 3,500th strikeout. He will end the season as one of only 3 players to reach that number, and the 19th century as one of only 7 to do so, specifically in 4th place at 3,867 strikeouts. That's amazing. You must be right about the quality of pitchers at the time that he could get the first perfect game and 3,500 strikeouts, but then still only finish the century in 4th place. Incredible.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know the guy at the very, very top was Felipe Esquivel because he lasted forever. He pitched, I want to say 1877 or 78 until 1896.
Jeez.
he
I'm
racked
surprised his
up
arm didn't fall off.
exactly. And well, when you're throwing 70 miles an hour maximum, then
Hmm.
maybe it's more understandable. But still, the fact that he
True.
lasted that entire time, that he was able to rack up, I think Esquivel ended up racking up somewhere in the order of 4 to 5,000 strikeouts.
Jeez.
Exactly. But Juan Rodriguez was sort of proof of concept. He was one of these first pitchers where you could say this guy commands the game. In
Hmm.
years before, the catcher, the shortstop, maybe a particularly good outfielder, you would often say that's the player that you really want to depend on. If you have a really good defensive captain, that's the guy that's going to meld everything around him. And then pitchers like Juan Rodriguez, Carlos Chavez, they showed up and they basically said, no, actually, the pitcher commands the game. They set the tempo.
Nice.
And speaking of setting the tempo, Everton Stack over 22 pitches has struck out 2. He faces Samuel Rigby, who is hitting 543 OPS, 1 home run, 21 runs batted in. Stack with a 2-run lead here in the top of the third. And on an 0-2 count, he dismisses Sam Rigby. Samuel Rigby goes down. Nope. Samuel
We keep,
Rigby.
the trouble is, it's too complicated a rhyme and cadence to work out quickly. We keep falling to the same trap.
The issue is that first extra syllable you have to find a way to put in. There's too many
Hmm.
verbs that are like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Samuel Rigby is sent down swinging on a, and there's your problem. There's got to
Yeah.
be some bridge there on a curveball downwards, but
Yeah.
the
One of
meter is
these
just
days,
lost.
we'll have
That's
it.
right. Yes. Yes. All the lonely people will be very happy
That's right.
as he heads back to a dugout, so he's not one of them. 1 out and bases empty for Jorge Apodaca. OPS of 437, no home runs and 2 runs batted in. That is a pop. Oh, it is a pop hit. It is a single for Apodaca, and there goes the no-hitter.
Oh boy.
So if you were hoping to watch Everton Stack's first perfect game, or I believe his second no-hitter, might be his third, not entirely sure, you're out of luck as of right now. Apodaca singles with a fastball that, can we watch that again? Somebody should have caught that.
Let me see.
Look at that. How do two separate infielders?
I do not blame them. They were running right at each other, and I know what happens when players collide. It can be very bad, so I
Fair.
do not blame them for balking there.
So, you've got a man on first with 1 out for Riley O'Sullivan, who was more disappointed than anybody when he heard that we were not doing an all-lefty lineup. Just because this man has hit all of his 6 home runs from this year off of lefty pitchers.
Ooh.
In fact, against righties, he's at an OPS of, oh boy, that's going to be south of 400.
Oh.
Pitiful. 1-2 count. And of course, he is dismissed. Stack's famous splitter gets him, and that is out number 2. Man still on first with Jorge Estrada coming up next. He's 0 for 1 on the day as the batting lineup turns over for Rio Grande. That is a ground out to Short Lou. Second, he throws to first. Estrada retired, and the Cotorras will get the hit, and that's it. It remains 2-0 in favor of the Navegadores as we head into the bottom of the third. Well, here's my question. How confident are you here about the Navegadores winning this one, the way things have gone so far?
I still believe they're going to win, but now I'm wondering if it might be close.
Mm-hmm. What specifically makes you wonder this?
I don't know. I can't say for sure. It's a feeling, but I feel like the Cotorras might have started to figure out what the Naves are all about. So my prediction is the game is going to be 6 to the Naves and 4 to the Cotorras. What do you think?
6-4. Interesting. big Chicago fan, I take it.
Yeah, that's right. 25.
I'm gonna say, I think Cordero is eventually gonna lose his footing, and the Naves will go on a run.
Mm-hmm.
Stack often gives up runs in the late innings when he gets a little overconfident. Might say he gets a little, he becomes a bit of a full stack.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I'm gonna say 9-2 Navegadores.
Ooh, okay.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the third, Mario Cordero. Let's see if the Naves can prove me right here. Pablo Salmeron coming up. He's 0 for 1. Mario Cordero, 2 innings, 47 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Here goes nothing. It's a 1-2 count on Salmeron, and he launches that one for a base hit into center field. They've really been targeting Tejeda out there, which is interesting because he's not a bad center fielder, but I guess they think he used to be the shortstop, and they think by being able to launch farther back, maybe he'll have trouble with it, but he's a perfectly serviceable center fielder.
Yeah.
I wonder what the game plan is there. Here comes Sherlew, who drew a walk last time on the first pitch, which he swung on 34 times. He's hitting 441. Man on first and no outs. 1-2 count for Sherlew. He launches that one into the air, but that's a long, slow flight. And Alvarado has all the time in the world to get underneath it and pluck it out. It's out number 1. Man still on first for Frank Del Castillo, who is 1 for 1 on the day. He, of course, had that infield hit. He ran out. His luck is unlikely to hold in that regard, but let's see what he can do here. Ooh, Del Castillo takes Cordero to a full count, and he does indeed get his second base hit with, stop me if you've heard this one before, another liner to center field.
They know what to do.
The Navegadores back in action here in the bottom of the third with 2 on and only 1 out. Look at that. Everything to the Castillo was away. They knew exactly what they were doing, and the moment they went a little bit inside, he sends it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes Min-Soo Kim, 0 for 1 in 2 at-bats against Cordero, has yet to get a hit. Let's see what he does here. 0-1 count. He reached base to an error last time. And this is a tailor-made double play ball with Frank there. So they retired the side. The much-anticipated double play from last inning happens this time. Kim can't hit the ball in the air, and it goes Alvarado to Rigby to Torres to end the third inning. We're through the top third of the game. The Navegadores unable to get anything in that last half frame. They remain up 2-0. Before we continue with the middle of the game, we're going to have another word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Louisa, the booth is all yours.
Thank you. Folks, I want to give you a piece of information, a cautionary word from the paper. And this is about diviners. The swindles of divination have truly taken root in the United States, and nowhere more than in the city of New York, the only city in the world that can have a veritable army of seers. These enlightened prophetesses are happy to regale women for 50 cents and men for $1. Everything in their past, presents, and futures. The number that will win the next lottery drawing and many other wonders. Such as sketching for the unmarried ladies portraits of their future husbands, calling upon the dead and absent to appear, etc. Some even add to all these abilities the gift of instantaneously and radically curing any chronic disease suffered by the customer. Whoever dies, whoever does not win the lottery, whoever does not know what is going to happen, goes about feeling ignorant. It is because he has not consulted these modern pythonesses, who can find adequate sustenance only in that most illustrious nation. The United States newspaper that provides us with this news tells us, as well, they are not primarily popular with the common people. Members of the highest classes come to hear the oracles from their inspired lips, including, among others, the famous Mombi General William A. P. Ryan. And we have some seeing into the future in the way that maybe these women did or didn't. 2 years after this, while fighting in support of independence and despite his United States citizenship, Ryan was executed by the Spanish government in Cuba during the Virginius Affair.
Which one did you read?
Diviners, which is sort of warning against and in favor of consulting a seer.
Did they consult the seer halfway through and realize that actually they're pretty cool and you should go see one?
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a lot of warnings about how they're gonna do everything. They're gonna cure every problem and tell you all about your future. But then also, actually, maybe they're pretty good. You should try.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about there is something in the indomitable Puerto Rican spirit that attracts this kind of, I guess, both sidesism.
Hmm.
I was recently reading a book of noir short stories set in San Juan, in different neighborhoods of the city, and the editor, who is an author that I know of, wrote an introduction, and this is in 2016, by the way. I can't imagine how much worse it would have been after Maria. Wrote an introduction where basically she said, Barrio Obrero, which is a neighborhood not far away from where I grew up, it used to be the hotbed of salsa, and now it's just all drug deals and so on, and just painted this horrible picture of the city. But at the end, she's like, does it make you want to visit?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Speaking
And
of
advertising.
that is pretty much what the Rum Diary was about. So there's that second reference to that book.
Nice.
Anyway, Everton Stack takes over here in the top of the fourth. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. 31 pitches. He faces Alvarado, Torres, and Tejeda. Alvarado is 0 for 1. Alvarado, Torres, and Tejeda, AT&T. As Alvarado
Pretty good.
launches a long flyout that, for some reason, actually just stops short. Feaster is able to catch it not far away from first base. It's out number 1. A 2-2 count there as he puts that fastball in play. Here comes Jesus Torres, 0 for 1 on the day, 1 out, bases empty, and on the 0-2 count, Torres launches that one, but Ham with the sprinting catch robs him of extra bases. Great work there, getting in position. Look at that sprint. He knew exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah, he sure did.
And with 2 outs and the bases empty, here comes Cosme Tejeda, who is 0 for 1 on the day. On the 0-2 count, Tejeda grounds out. Man, I'm actually surprised at how many of these 0-2 outs we're seeing that aren't strikeouts. Usually Stack is just mowing them down one after the other, not even giving them a chance to put the ball in play. But the Cotorras are fighting. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
He almost manages to punch through, but Valdez has it, throws over, and that is out number 3. So we head into the bottom of the fourth, and Naves still unable. The Cotorras still unable to break through the Naves defense. In the bottom of the fourth, Mario Cordero, 3 innings pitched, 63 pitches, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Faces Valdez, Balk, and then Underwood as the batting lineup turns over. Valdez currently responsible for the 2 runs the Naves have batted in. He had that 2-run single a while back. He'll look to add on some more. And I just noticed exactly how far inside that ground out from Tejeda was. This little blue dot here.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Here comes Valdez on the 0-2 count. Let's see if it's his turn to put the ball in play here. He does. It's a long liner to left field, but he cannot escape Estrada, who smothers it out there in the left field corner. Excellent job there to get in position and be ready. I think if you had a worse left fielder, that ends up going down for a double or a triple.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's an out, and the bases remain empty for Wally Balk, who's 0 for 1. Wally Balk going after the first pitch, and he dunks it past the infield. It's a bouncer. He'll be on with the 6th hit of the day for the Naves, his first in the game, and he holds on as he makes it a single. A 1-out base hit to turn the lineup over, and here comes Graham Underwood. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Let's see if this is when the floodgates open. Graham Underwood on the full count. Launches that one. Liner into what? Another great catch by Estrada on Brinkley.
Wow.
That looked edited.
Yeah.
But no, ball hung in the air. That's what happens. So 2 excellent defensive plays that have robbed sure base hits from the Naves here. And with 2 outs and a man still on first, here comes Rob Feaster. The Grackle is 0 for 2 on the day. Uncharacteristic. Let's see if he's going to change his approach here. 0-2 count. And he does, but only to pop up over third base. O'Sullivan has it, and the inning is over. We are through 4. The Navegadores remaining ahead by the skin of their teeth. A 2-run game that could change at any moment. But before we continue...
Oh, it's time for me.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you had more to say.
It is
But
time
I
for
have
you.
more to say. Yes. I have more to say. Here's a little tidbit for you folks from July 8th, this time, 1894. Center fielder Ismael Santa Cruz is not only the first San Lorenzo player to hit for the cycle, but his 5 hits, including a grand slam, bat in 8 runs, which remains a record as of 1907. They win against Guayama 19-10. What does that mean? I'm confused. Oh, this is describing a specific game. I see. I thought this was like overall stats, but no.
No. Hitting for the cycle would be...
all in one game.
They enshrine your other statistics, basically, from that game. So the number of times you... how many trips to the plate it took, how many runs you batted in doing it. If I remember correctly, he... Does it say how he made it to 8 runs batted in?
5 hits, including a grand slam, batted in 8 runs.
There we go. Yes, including the grand
Oh.
slam. That's 4 of them right
the
there.
grand slam, okay.
And then, of
Okay.
course.
I see. And since then, Englishman Benjamin Mullins, the preacher, has also hit for the cycle as a leyenda.
Mm-hmm. People don't know this, but the Willie Nelson song "Time of the Preacher" was actually about him.
I don't know that song, so I cannot confirm.
It's more of a tone poem. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But yes, Benjamin Mullins and Ismael Santa Cruz, the only 2 San Lorenzo players to hit for the cycle. Ismael Santa Cruz, again, another one of those guys that not very top flight players because they weren't on teams that were always in the playoffs. And that, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, is a distinction in baseball. Being on a team that is so good that it's constantly making championship runs is going to get you noticed.
Yeah. It must be very hard. If you become a free agent during your prime, it must be very hard to decide where to go because you really want to be able to show off your skills. And you don't have a whole lot of years to do that, but how will you decide? I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Some players like the sort of certainty of like, I will be in this uniform for, a certain number of years. Some players kind of like the idea of being a big fish in a small pond. They want to show off, but they don't necessarily want a lot of competition. And other guys, I think most, if you're a pro athlete, right, most players, especially once you've tied revenue to playoffs and appearances and championships, they will want to be in there. They will want to be on a team that is making these runs, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here comes Morris, De La Cruz, and Rigby to face Everton Stack. 43 pitches over 4 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. Morris on the 2-2 count launches it into center field, but that is yet another running catch by an outfielder in this game. Underwood has it, and that's out number 1. Here comes Luis De La Cruz, 0 for 1 himself. With an out and the base is empty, on the 1-0 count, De La Cruz chops it. Valdez has it, runs to his right, flips, throws, and gets out number 2 at first. A ground ball to short. Feaster able to catch it and get him out. Here comes Sam Rigby, 0 for 1 on the day. Last time he went down swinging on a curveball downwards. Let's see what he does with the bases empty and 2 outs on the 0-1 count. This one goes to Wally Balk, who gets rid of the ball in time.
Wow.
Off his back foot, nails the throw to first, and no one left on there. The Navegadores hanging on to that 2-run lead as we head into the bottom of the 5th.
You know, you don't like to see guys almost get on base 3 times, like actually get a hit, but it's good to know that the team's got the pitchers back there.
Exactly. It's tense, but this is exactly, if Stack is throwing the types of pitches that he's throwing, it's because he knows that his team will back him up. He is having one of the historic seasons for pitchers, and this in a time when it felt like historic seasons for pitchers were a dime a dozen.
Yeah, that's great.
Between the Garcia brothers, Ezequiel Vasquez, Carmelo Castillo, all of the El Nostro Gutierrez. I'm trying to think of other pitchers that are having incredible seasons, but Nicodemo Ceja on the Poetas. These are guys who are having absolutely ridiculous seasons by the standards of basically any era of baseball. I think the entire Naguabo rotation made it to the Campeones team for Betances, all 4 of them.
Wow, okay.
So anyway, here comes Jake Getman. He's over 2, faces Cordero, who is at 79 pitches over 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. This is kind of a match made in hell, I think, for the Naves lineup, because when pitchers are trying to strike them out, that means they have to throw in the zone. They have to try and attract the swings. And that means they can lay wood on it. But Cordero is content to just throw them the weakest stuff in his arsenal and watch them just flail at it.
Yeah. He's getting tired, though. That might make a difference.
It might. Getman popped out to the first baseman last time, and it looks like it's almost second verse, same as the first. This time it's to Alvarado, who gets it for out number 1.
Oh, we got to see all 3 colors of shoes there. Orange was the ones I liked the most.
Very nice. Here comes Pablo Salmeron, who's 1 for 2. 1-1 count. He had that liner to center field. This time it's a chopper to Rigby, who throws to first, but it goes past the first baseman, skipping all the way into the grass. Rigby has another error, and Salmeron will end up at second base. Rigby with his 18th error at shortstop.
Jeez.
Salmeron, not a fast runner, but he's on second with 1 out, so sure Lou can get something into the outfield. He might be able to come home.
Okay.
Lou hitting nearly 300 against lefties here, on base percentage over 400 against lefties. So let's see what he does. 2-2 count.
Charge.
Launches that one right back to Alvarado. He makes the grab, and that is out number 2. That's 2 liners directly to second base there, not being able to lift them over their heads. But hey, maybe things are about to change. Here comes Frank de Castillo, who's 2 for 2 on the night. Let's see if he can extend this and get the Naves some more runs. He is 5 for 12 against Cordero, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Full count. Nope. Chops it to first base, and they've got plenty of time to get him out. Torres to Cordero. Del Castillo is retired. So Samuel Rigby's error will indeed not haunt him. Naguabo unable to capitalize on that. We're through 5 innings. They remain ahead 2-0. Before we
now.
Go ahead.
I want to tell you about July 8th of last year, 365 days ago. I'm trying to think about leap years, and I can't think about that. I will never get it. So, just last year, Gerardo Tinajero, who had signed with Carolina on April 30th after stints with Penuelas and Citra, no hits to Abaja, despite walking 3 batters and only striking out 1. By October 29th, once the Tumbas have been thrown out of the playoffs, he's cut from the team, but signs with the Caciques, his 4th organization, next January. Pretty wild, this guy.
Yep. Gerardo Tinajero, the level to which...
No, go on.
The level to which teams felt comfortable just dumping their number 4 pitcher back on the market routinely is
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we have not seen a pitcher play for 3 or 4 teams in the same year yet.
It is surprising to me. It seems like sometimes the league as a whole, they understand the worth of pitchers, but then other times they're like, we could just have our starter start every single game until he drops dead, or we could just have 2 pitchers on our rotation ever, and let a guy go who's really great. All this stuff.
Yes. What seems to be happening in this year is, in this era, is a lot of teams want to have pitchers on the payroll who can eat innings, but they don't really have places to put them. And so it has become a common thing to sign pitchers to basically what end up being often 1-day contracts. It's something where it's basically if you're available, if you're in this city on this day and we need you on the roster, basically. And I don't really know
Yeah.
how that works logistically, but it is endemic to the LNP of this era. Teams are, I think in future eras, they dealt with this by assigning those guys to their farm teams, especially to the top level farm teams where, they could just kind of sit them and have them as very much desperation depth.
That makes sense, yeah.
But now it's pretty wild what's happening with all of them. I know the Navegadores have a 5th starting pitcher currently sitting in the bullpen for Raj. He's supposed to be really good, but they just like the front 4 that they have. Faraj,
Yeah, they tend to stick with a guy.
Faraj might get to pitch, in the national championship. He might get to start game 5, that sort of thing. Although that would be considered sort of bad gamesmanship at this time to expand your rotation beyond 4 guys. So there's that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, here in the top of the 6th, Jorge Apodaca, Riley O'Sullivan, and Jorge Estrada prepare themselves to face Everton Stack. Oh, it's the 2 Jorges. That's my favorite Harry Turtledove novel. He had a novel called The 2 Georges. That's the joke.
Ah, interesting. Did he?
Yeah. The 2 Georges are, I believe, George III and George Washington. This is a novel in which the American Revolution was peaceably concluded. And
an epistolary novel where they fall in love. I see.
That's right,
I
yes.
see what you're getting at.
I
There's a painting.
cannot go with the rest of this and keep the stream family friendly.
That's
Let's
reasonable.
just say it gets racy. Yeah, that novel was originally published on Archive of Our Own, actually, under the
That's what I
Real
was gonna
Person
say.
spec. No, it's apparently a painting where they shake hands, and so this detective has to try to find the painting because it's been stolen. It's a whole thing. Anyway,
Pretty good.
Everton Stack, 52 pitches over 5 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. Jorge Apodaca, 1 for 1 on the day. In fact, the only hit Cotorra has managed off of Stack, and Stack immediately takes revenge with a fastball that he slips by him for strikeout number 5. Riley O'Sullivan comes up next. He's 0 for 1, 1 out, and the bases remain empty. O'Sullivan, 1 for 2. He struck out last time. This time he does make contact, but not good enough. Rob Feaster comes off the base to grab it, tells Stack, I got this one, and he runs back to first base and then throws the ball weirdly aggressively back to his pitcher. I don't understand what that was all about. Look at
They're
this.
having a private fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. Are you going to throw it or not? Are you going to throw it? See?
He really
hurls the guy.
wound up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you I had it.
Boy. They're just staring each other down in silence while the batter runs off the field.
Exactly. Just wait until he leaves. I'm not doing it in front of him.
Great. Good stuff.
Jorge Estrada coming up next. He's over 2 on the day. 1-2 count for Estrada. And he strikes out as well. Strikeout number 6 for Everton Stack. And Naguabo remains up 2-0 as we head into the bottom of the 6th. Will this be the inning? They finally get to Cordero El Majadero. It's up to Min-Soo Kim to start the party here as he's sitting on an 0 for 2 line today. Cordero, 95 pitches Over 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Let's see what the Korean's got up his sleeve for this inning. 2-2 count. And Kim, he cannot get that one over the infield. Samuel Rigby makes the catch in the air there on a line drive up the middle. Unfortunately, could not quite get it between the middle infielders. Although I do like that Tito Alvarado thought he had this one. Watch. He jumps for it.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Amazing. Benigno Valdez comes up next. He's 1 for 2 with 2 ribbies on the day. Cordero hitting 100 pitches here after he got Kim to line out on that sinker. Benigno Valdez takes him to a full count and proceeds to draw the second walk of the game for Mario Cordero after a 7-pitch at bat featuring 3 fouls. Cordero's fastball falls away, and here comes Wally Balk with a man on and 1 out. Balk is 1 for 2. He's hitting .231 with runner on first, including a home run. First pitch, Valdez going for second, and he's got him fooled. 45th stolen base of the season for Benji Valdez on that one, as Apodaca not even close to getting the ball out of his mitt in time. So now, with a man in scoring position, let's see what Wally Balk can do. It's a 2-2 count. Launches that one into the air, but it is a slow flight over to center field. Tejeda has it. He grabs it, and it is out number 2. Batting lineup turns over, and hey, did you know Ham Underwood is 5 for 15 off of Mario Cordero?
That's not great. Those numbers, I don't like them.
I mean, that's triple threes. It's not bad.
All right. Okay. I can be convinced.
0-2 count. Okay, maybe you were right. He fouls. He pops up into foul territory, and it's O'Sullivan who comes up third base to come grab it. The Siders retired. The Navegadores get a walk, and that's all. As we are through 6. Before we continue with the bottom third of the game and see if the Naves can hold on to this lead, we are going to have another word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Louisa, all yours.
Thank you. I have another news item for you listeners, also about New York City, where they have that army of seers. But this time...
Here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you won't need to walk because there's going to be an underground rail. Ongoing efforts to establish an underground rail system in New York have led to a legislative proposal to exactly this effect. The entire route will be of 4.6 miles. From the start of the line at Bowling Green, one end of Broadway, it will travel underneath Fifth Avenue to Central Park. The line will feature 11 stations, which are to be located on both sides of the street, and be provided with well-lit staircases through which passengers may descend to the underground rails. Each car will have sufficient capacity for 80 passengers. Under ideal conditions, one should depart each station every 2 minutes, and due to their steam engines, it is estimated that they will be able to complete the route in 20 minutes, including stops. Engineers have proposed a budget of $8.487 million, and although the enterprise appears to be extremely difficult, the state legislature has been assured that the project can be completed in 3 years. This is remarkable. It sounds as impossible to me today that they were proposing this this is a news item from 1871. And yet they did it. So only the fact that they did it makes me think it could be done, because otherwise, no way. Trying to build a rail system under an already established city. How could you do that? It feels impossible. It feels as impossible as people always say, aliens had to create the pyramids because humans couldn't have done that. Because humans couldn't possibly have done that. This is how I feel about putting a subway system into the city of New York in the 1800s.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you are talking about a world in which Eric Adams has been the mayor of New York for a while, so I can understand where your difficulties lie here.
To think that, right after the American Civil War, people could just ride on a subway in New York boggles the mind.
Yes, you do wonder if the first passenger said, "I am riding here."
Yes, very politely.
They made him that way then. It was different, as we all know.
It says well-lit stairways. I'm assuming we're talking about gas lamps. I wonder.
I assume yes. Uh, that would have been the that would have been the style at the time, so to speak.
Yes, exactly.
I think the wildest thing for me was the I didn't realize how limited the circuit of it was at the time.
Yeah.
And I do like that, including stops, it is going to make 11 stops in 20 minutes.
Yes, that is ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for a steam engine that sort of has to build up power to get going.
Yeah. I can only imagine that you were expected to jump onto the train at a full run.
That is the most romantic way to do it.
Very true, yes. All right. We enter the top of the seventh. The Navegadores remain up 2-0 as Alvarado, Torres, and Tejeda get to face Everton Stack, who has been his usual self today. He is through 6 scoreless innings with 1 hit and 6 strikeouts over just 64 pitches. Tito Alvarado is 0 for 2 on the day. The Navegadores defense has basically just been bullying Rio Grande's players. They haven't let them have any fun on the field. Alvarado, as he popped up to the first baseman, there he finally gets some action, as that's a long base hit there. It goes to the left fielder. Getman goes to get it. That'll hit the wall, and it'll be their first hit in a while. It's a double, the 16th of the season for Tito Alvarado, and the Cotorras suddenly find themselves in decent position to start this inning. They may be able to take care of the intricacies of La Timonera a little bit better than what we've seen from the Naves so far. Here comes Jesus Torres, who's 0 for 2. Stack now has to bear down after his famous splitter failed to attract a chase there, a whiff. Jesus Torres on the 0-2 count, strikes out on the fastball. 7th strikeout for Everton Stack. He goes down swinging. That's out number 1. Man still on second for, now pinch hitting for the Cotorras de Rio Grande. Number 33, Raúl Alzate, known as El Francés.
Oh, that's an interesting name.
I think it's actually, I think it's because he is part Haitian.
Ah, that makes sense.
So here we go. Alzate here. He's currently at an OPS of 630. No home runs, 30 runs batted in. Let's see what he does. He's been given a chance. And instead, oh, that is embarrassing. Alvarado breaks for third, but he's not the runner he was even a couple years ago. And Salmeron nails him by a mile. Rapid release there. And Salmeron maintains his reputation for gunning down opposing thieves. Let's see, that's 42 of 67. So that's got to be what? That's somewhere around 2/3, I think. Alzate now with 2 outs and the base is empty. On the 2-2 count, Alzate 0 for 2 on the day, and he strikes out Stack's number 8. Sits him down, and it is now time. Well, if this were any other ball game, it would be time for the 7th inning stretch. But here on Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, it is time for the 7th inning poetry reading. This is a repeat of the one that we read the last time that we were able to broadcast a few weeks ago. It is Naguabo by Jose Emilio Gonzalez, as far as I know, not particularly well-known Puerto Rican poet who published this poem in the Revista del Instituto de Cultura Puertorriqueña, the magazine of the Puerto Rican Cultural Institute. The volume is July to September 1964. It is a description of the town of Naguabo and its sort of natural environs. And González tells us, De Río Blanco se baja, por Peña Pobre se sube. Al este palpita el mar, y al oeste vibra el yunque. Naguabo es el corazón clavado en el mismo cruce. Es una estrella acostada que se cansó de las nubes, puso la rodilla en tierra y se durmió entre dos luces. Tiene otro nombre, Dahao, voz de indígenas relumbres, voz de Caribe y pirata que en la historia se hizo ilustre. Naguabo, frontón de guerra, selva de espadas y cruces. Dime, Naguabo, al oído, ¿cuál es la dulce costumbre de tus calles? ¿Por qué son tan anchas? ¿Por qué las urdes tan espigadas y enteras? ¿Por qué me parecen cumbres? Cuando la tarde se deja pescar en tu red de luces, ¿por qué se me pone el rostro dorado con tus azules? That last stanza in particular, I thought needed to be read at La Timonera because what it translates to is when the afternoon allows itself to be caught in your net of lights, your fishing net of lights. Why does my face turn golden in your blues? And this is a complete coincidence. I had no idea this poem existed before I went looking for poems about Naguabo. But as we all know, the Navegadores wear sapphire and gold.
Lovely.
It's a very nice little poem as a tribute to a town that is otherwise, kind of a sleepy little place famous for its particular affection for a fish that most of the rest of the island doesn't really eat.
Yeah, it's nice.
So here in the bottom of the 7th, Rob Feaster, Jake Getman, and Pablo Salmeron will get to try and turn their faces gold with the Blues of Naguabo as they face off against Mario Cordero, who is through 6 innings on 116 pitches, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and just 1 strikeout. Rob Feaster 0 for 3 on the day. Let's see how he starts off this inning. As he puts that one, it's a liner, a full count liner into center field, and he's got an infield hit there. Interesting how the sound just completely quieted right there.
Yeah, that is strange.
Do you think they just all left?
Yeah, the last of them filed out.
That's right. They just all decided, yeah, they probably got this one well in hand. All right.
Beat traffic. Get home.
Exactly. Yes, all that horse traffic on the Naguabo streets at the time.
Listen, there must have been some. You have to figure, right?
Oh, I assume that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Jake Getman 0 for 3 on the day against Mario Cordero, man on first and no outs. As Feaster steals base number 78, one for every Puerto Rican town, as there is no throw from Apodaca on that one. He just stands up, and Feaster is on second before he can get rid of the ball. So that'll put a man in scoring position with no outs for Getman. 0-1 count. Oh, here we go. Getman hits that one to first base, and it'll be a fielder's choice. Torres has it, goes back to first base. Getman retired. Feaster makes it to third, and the Navegadores have a chance to tack on a run for the first time since the 2nd inning. Well, they've had chances to tack on runs. They have not taken advantage of those chances. Here comes Salmeron, who is 1 for 3 on the day. Only 2 of his home runs have come with crispy rispies, as he has here. But he's going after the first pitch, and that should be another fielder's choice as Alvarado tries to throw home, but the catcher has to jump into the air to catch that throw, and unfortunately, that gives Feaster all the time he needs to slide in underneath him. So what should have been a fielder's choice and an out at home results in a run scored in Salmeron, safe at first. It is it's a fielder's choice. I think I already explained the result of the play. I don't know where else to go with that.
Yes, true.
So we got a runner safe. We've got a run scored, and the Navegadores take a 3-0 lead on yet another defensive miscue from the Cotorras. Not an official error in this case. Nobody dropped the ball or failed to catch. an obvious catchable ball, but unfortunate there for the multicolores. As here comes Eto Insured Lou. He's over 2 on the day, comes up with a man on first and 1 out. We'll have to avoid the dreaded double play here. And that works. He draws his second walk of the ball game, his 38th this season. Salmeron takes second, and with 2 on and 1 out, here comes Frank Del Castillo, 5 for 13 now against Cordero. Let's see if he wants to make that 6 for 14. Del Castillo, 2-2 count. Wait, seriously? They ruled that a full swing, and he strikes out on a fastball. So that's strikeout number 2 for Mario Cordero, and he finally gets pulled in favor of Evaristo Rodriguez, number 19, now pitching for the Cotorras. He has thrown 4 1/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 6 earned runs for an ERA of, ready for this one, 12.46. You know how we... Yep.
No. Are you going to explain?
Well,
I don't understand.
You know how I say sometimes that the OPS is really good when it sounds like a year in the Middle Ages?
Yes.
The ERA is really bad when it sounds like a year in the Middle Ages. Like, bottom of the pile bad.
Yeah, real plague times stuff.
Yeah. He struck out 3 and hasn't walked anybody, and you want to talk about guys who have shuttled around the league. This is his 3rd team in 3 years, and he actually did meh with his previous 2 teams. It's an interesting choice to throw him here. This is a winnable game. Putting a guy who has given you no reason to trust him in any kind of close situation is basically admitting defeat.
Yeah.
Let's see if they punish him. Here comes Min-Soo Kim. He's over 3 on the day, 2 on, 2 outs. And looks like on the very first pitch, Kim is going to hit that one into center field, and it lands in front of the center fielder Alzate. We are not... No, we're going to send somebody on. Why not? Alzate launches that one, and it's nowhere near home. It's an RBI single. Naguabo doubles their pleasure, doubles their fun, but most importantly, doubles their lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Min-Soo Kim with an RBI single as Alzate, who has a good enough arm that he probably could have gotten Salmeron out at home, decides he doesn't want to risk the error and instead throws to the cutoff man.
Yep.
That is a costly choice there, as it allows Naguabo to score the run. They are up 4-0 now here in the bottom of the 7th. Still have 2 on with 2 outs for Benji Valdez, who is 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. Evaristo Rodriguez's first pitch puts the game further out of reach for the Cotorras. Valdez on the full count launches that one into the air, but it is caught by Estrada. He puts it away for the out, and the Navegadores put another 2 runs on another 2 hits and strand another 2 runners. They now lead by 4-0 as we end the 7th inning. Wow.
All right. Yeah.
7 cutters in a row in that at bat.
I never understand why a pitcher wants to do that. I guess they just get in the groove and they think this is my best chance. This pitch, I'm gonna have to pitch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Very.
But I do have a little tidbit of information for you. For July 8th, 1906, again, last year, just 1 year ago. Elias Gonzalez, El Oso, to friends and enemies alike, puts across his 1,000th hit of the 20th century. The former number 6 prospect already had 177 hits saved up from his rookie season in 1897. Almost 10 years earlier. Incredible. We know why. The LNP had to take a break.
Who was the player again?
Elias Gonzalez?
Yes, that's right. This was the season. 1906 was kind of the season where we started seeing thousandth hit totals.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Elias Gonzalez, he one of the real unfortunates in this regard, because to be a rookie in 1897 was to have probably a lot of your prime baseball playing years just ripped out from your
Yeah,
career.
yeah, that does make sense. Now, why did a lot of them start to get 1,000 hits? Is that were suddenly a lot more games added, or is this they just got better?
No, it's just that's how long it takes to accrue that many. In this era, a good hitter is probably getting about 200 hits a season.
Oh,
So
okay, I see.
you give it, and often you're getting less than that. You're probably getting more like 170, 180. So over the course of 6 seasons is when you would expect to start seeing thousand guys getting their thousandth hit.
I see. That makes sense.
As we head here until the top of the eighth, Gideon Morris, Luis de la Cruz, and Samuel Rigby face Everton Stack, who is at 76 pitches over 7 innings, 2 hits and 8 strikeouts. Morris is over 2 on the day and looks likely to be over 3 here as he strikes out. It's number 9 for Everton Stack here in the top of the eighth. Got him out with 2 fastballs and a sinker. Here comes Luis de la Cruz, 0 for 2 on the day. Stack saving up his energy here, and he gets double digits on this one. A 2-2 count curveball that breaks inside and up on him, and he's unable to lay the bat on that. So it is 2 outs and the base is empty for Sam Rigby, who's also 0 for 2 on the day. Stack here going for strikeout number 11.
Right.
2-2 count for him as well, and he gets it. Everton Stack retires the side on strikes to get to strikeout number 11. The Cotorras unable to resist him at all here in the top of the eighth as we head into the bottom half of the frame. The Naves remain up 4-0, and they'll face Evaristo Rodriguez, who managed to, over 8 pitches, allow a hit and get an out. He has a curveball and a cutter, which might explain why he's throwing 7 cutters in a row. Here he will face Bach, Underwood, and Feaster. Bach is 1 for 3 on the day. Let's see if they want to beat up a little bit on a beleaguered reliever here. Well, not like that, they don't. First pitch to Bach, and he goes after it. Grounds it out right back to the pitcher. Rodriguez, all the time in the world to throw to first. Here comes Underwood. He's 1 for 4 on the day. 1 out, base is empty. 2-2 count. Hits that one to third base. O'Sullivan with plenty of time to throw across the hallway, and Underwood is out at first.
Darn it.
Jeez. And here comes Rob. You really wouldn't think that the Cotorras have had so many defensive miscues in this game, given that. How they're fielding here.
Yeah, it does make sense.
And here comes Rob Feaster, who's 1 for 4 on the day. Can he extend the inning at all? 1-2 count. Nope. Launches that one to Alvarado, who throws overhand to first, and the inning is over. The Navegadores go down without much of a fight here in the bottom of the eighth. And it's, before Everton Stack comes back out to try and finish this game on a scoreless footing, I believe we have one last interesting fact from LNP history.
We do, because we ran up so quickly against current events. This is also from 1906. And on July 8th, 1906, Eremias Lopez, possibly the greatest Cuban player of the 19th century, cruelly kept from several Ilustrismo awards by his own teammate, Amancio Silva, also gets his 1,000th hit of the 20th century. In his case, though, he'd played for over 10 years in Santa Clara and accrued 1,160 smacks before coming over to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Jeremias Lopez is a Cuban baseball legend.
Ah, so he was in the Cuban League all that time.
Yes. And in fact, you could argue that he had a very good case for sort of... So the Cuban League did not ban players from other countries.
Okay.
And you could argue that one of the people who was most hurt by that was Jeremias Lopez, because the guy he was playing with, Amancio Silva, hit incredible amounts of home runs. Big time hitter. But that meant that he was winning Ilustrísimo every year over his own teammate. I think Lopez finished second. What is it? 4 times? I think it said in there.
Was that like a Mantle, Maris, those modern guys whose names I don't remember? Was it like one of those kind of seasons?
Yeah, except it happened a bunch of times. That's the problem. It didn't just happen once. It happened something like 3 or 4 times, where he
Wow.
lost out to a Puerto Rican player.
Oh,
So
man.
Lopez then decided, Silva fizzled out in the late 1890s. He came over to, they eventually cut him because the strikeouts were getting to be too much. He was getting too old. He didn't hit for as much power anymore. So he comes over to Puerto Rico. He ends his career with the Mulos. I don't think he got many appearances in his year in Puerto Rico. And then Lopez decides to come over and ply his trade over here. And actually, for a couple of years, he's really, really good. And then he kind of settles down. But he was actually very good for Cuba um, in the Copa Mundial as well. So you
Okay.
do have like there's clearly some fire in the belly there. It's just the man is 41 years old. Like there's a limit to how good he's gonna be at high level baseball at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, who were those guys in the modern era? I say modern, but this was like 20 years ago. What were their names? They were on The Simpsons. I can't remember this.
Uh,
The guys who were in a home run
uh, are we talking
face off.
McGuire and Sosa, or are we talking
Yes,
McGuire and
yes, yes, yes,
Canseco?
yes, 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 yes. Sosa. That's what I was thinking of. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah,
right.
I guess it's a human nature thing that sometimes when you're really competing at a high level, someone else on your team, like you're competing against each other directly.
Yes, and I think it's especially notable because in the case of these two guys, Silva was a kind of hitter that the Cuban leagues really hadn't seen before. It was normal for guys to top out at like 6 home runs on a year. That was a power hitter. And then here comes a
Okay.
guy who's hitting 30. What are you supposed to
Yeah,
do with this?
that
And
is impressive.
Lopez, who had played the game, basically quote unquote the right way, the Cuban way, he's very annoyed that this guy who is clearly going to be a flash in the pan, they'll get used to him or the power will go down, is beating him for Ilustrísimo, and they can't even win that many titles with him. That's the worst part. He's
Ugh,
not he's not contributing to team success.
that would really get under my skin too.
Mm-hmm. So here comes Everton Stack to try and close this one out. It's top of the ninth. Here comes, it's the two Georges formation once again. Jorge Apodaca, Riley O'Sullivan, and Jorge Estrada. Everton Stack through 8 innings, 2 hits, 11 strikeouts over 91 pitches. If he can get through this one quick, he's got a shot at a Maddox. Apodaca is 1 for 2 on the day. And it's a 1-1 count. Apodaca, big launch into the air. Underwood running after it, and he's got it. Puts the hand up on the long run, almost to the warning track. And he gloves it for out number 1.
Nice.
Next up, now pinch hitting for the Cotorras de Río Grande, number 10, Rafael Cepeda. He is currently sitting on a 5.66 OPS, 29 runs batted in, bases empty, and 1 out. 0-2 count. He is 1 for 8 as a pinch hitter, and make that 1 for 9 as he strikes out on a fastball. That is strikeout number 12 for Everton Stack, and if he can retire Estrada in 2 pitches, he's got the Maddox. Estrada is 0 for 3 on the day. He hits 204 in the late innings of the game. That's in line with his average. What you see here is a team that depended on their pitching, but at least could, score runs in bunches when they felt like it, and now they can't do that either.
Yeah.
2-2 count, so no Maddox. But Estrada goes down swinging. Stack gets his 13th strikeout. And Naguabo wins it 4-0 behind a 2-hit shutout from Everton Stack, who puts another feather in his cap here. And I suppose calls it macaroni as the Navegadores win their 73rd game of the year here on July 8th. Absolutely brutal loss for the Cotorras. Didn't look like they were in it at all. Only hits came from Tito Alvarado and Jorge Apodaca. And really, the surprise is just the Navegadores didn't beat more of the brakes off them in this one.
Yeah, I think both of us overestimated how the Naves would do.
Yeah, we're used to a more run heavy environment, and that has not been this season.
Hmm, fair
It
enough.
it's been a lot. It Most of the hitting metrics are down. Slugging is the worst it's ever been in the 1900s.
Mhm.
The only offensive metric that isn't at its worst or close to is that it's technically a little bit. It takes less time between home runs. I don't know how to phrase that exactly. There are more home runs per plate appearance or something like that, or fewer plate appearances per home run. So they're happening more often, but
Okay.
overall slugging is down.
Huh.
So
That's tricky. That's a
yeah,
tricky one.
there's not a lot of doubles, not a lot of triples. Averages are down. So most teams are winning via pitching rather than hitting, is the main thing.
Gotcha. That does make sense.
Stat gets the win on 2 hits, no walks, no hits, nothing. 13 strikeouts. The only multi-hit game came from Del Castillo, 2 walks, and actually a run for Sherlew, who didn't get a hit in his 2 official at bats. Mario Cordero takes his 11th loss of the season, 6 and 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. 3 errors, of course, contribute from the Rio Grande defense, though all of the runs were earned.
You
Any
think Ham's going to be able to stick in that top batting spot, or is he going to lose it? Is he slipping?
Maybe he has had a lot of trouble stealing this year.
Ugh, and I love when he steals. That's my favorite.
No matter what the coaches tell him to do, it just seems like he doesn't seem to have the confidence to sort of trick the pitcher,
Yeah.
which is something you have
Mm,
to do if you want to get good at pilfering. You have to basically poker face it and just take
yeah.
the lead, and then you go when you get the chance, and we're not really seeing that. So he's had a lot of trouble. They've changed the frequency he steals a couple times. They've got him to steal more, to steal less. Obviously we didn't see him steal in this game, and nothing seems to work properly is the thing for him. No matter what we have him do, it's just for whatever reason it's not his year. And by the way, stealing is also down league wide, so that's definitely part of it.
Ugh, don't like that. All right, fair enough. There's ties to this whole thing. Things come and go.
Any final thoughts before we let him go?
It was a nice game. I would like. It's tough when the Naves win to say I would like them to perform a little bit better, but I kind of would. So I hope they do in the future.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a more traditional Naves offense. This might just not be the year. It's very
Yeah,
unfortunate, but it's wild because, on the other hand, they have been very efficiently grinding everybody, to
yeah,
death under the strength of their pitching.
that is a good thing.
Well, gente, we're going to have to let you go there. We are going to see you next week, hopefully, with more Navegadores action, or maybe we'll swing down to the developmentals and catch a little bit of the Jauco minor leagues. We'll see what is in store for us. But until then, as always, this has been Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil y Dios les bendiga.